Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Based on the previous conversation on the security clearances, I want to go to Iran, back to Iran. In June of this year, you restarted broadcasts to Iran after Israel attacked them. In the meantime, Musk has said that the beams are on with Starlink into Iran. Industry estimates that there are 20,000 terminals, and you have to have a terminal yet. They're still testing cell phones operating in Iran through the black market channels. So I want to compare the two. Approximately how many Iranians currently watch the VOA Persian service?
Probably not that many, to be honest. The ratings aren't particularly good, and I don't know if you've ever had a chance to sit down and watch VOA programming. It's painful to watch.
Yeah, the RFE and RL have claimed that they reach millions of Iranians. Obviously, given your response, how are we going to support broadcast into Iran then, is the bottom line. I'll jump over some of this because I think it's not going to be answerable. What format do you see going into the most constrained countries? How are we going to do that? Because technology is changing fast.
Absolutely.
So, you know, we can call it radio, free, whatever, but how do you plan to get pro-American, the American story into the most denied countries? And we'll start with Iran.
You know, I think Starlink is a great option. And a lot of people have mentioned OTF and that's the way to go. But to be honest, they're behind the times. You know, they're looking at VPNs. And when a dictator turns off the internet, good luck. I mean, you've got to have a way to get information in. I think that Starlink is a great option. I would like to see Starlink moving a little bit faster into Iran so we can get the word out. We have an opportunity right now to let the people of Iran know that we don't have a problem with the people of Iran. They're incredible people. They have been mistreated for many decades. And we want to make sure that they know that America is a friend.
Yeah, and I think the high tech, you need to be examining how you're going to get around the government.
That's right.
How are you going to actually get the beam into the country, into the denied countries?
I will say though, with our programming that we put out on Saturday, I think it was the most watched we've ever put into Farsi, and it was through modes of people were actually seeing it. And they were watching. So they're very in tune to what's happening in America right now.
They are, but the government will then respond and cut it off if possible.
Right.
So you've got to stay one step ahead of them. This is the age-old, how do you stay ahead of the enemy, the adversary? So what obstacles do you see in today's climate in getting into the big four, Russia, China, North Korea, and Iran? What obstacles do you see and how do you plan to overcome them with this new organization that you are going to be developing?
Well, we would like to continue to put information that is accurate to the folks in those. And as I mentioned, we're reaching 4 languages, actually Pashto, Dari, Mandarin, Farsi, and in Cuba as well. And it's difficult. You know, we're still using radio and Radio Marti in South Florida.
Sure.
That seems to be working, but we're not reaching that many people with this. And I think we have to examine if it's worth the money that's going into this to be not reaching that many people. There's other ways to reach people than, like I said, 1990s style television. And I think you can look at Twitter, you can look at social media. I mean, do you think for 1 minute that some of the Democrats have said, oh, China's rushing in and they're filling the vacuum? They're not doing 1990s television. They're laughing. As a matter of fact, they're not only laughing at what we were doing, they were controlling what we were doing by having more of a say of what our content was than we did. They're seeding narratives on TikTok, on Twitter. If we really want to be effective in changing the narrative, it's narrative seeding on social media. It's not 1990s style TV with a bloated staff of many people who actually hate America.
That's exactly right. And my whole point in this questioning is you're going to have to move fast to stay ahead of the technology.
Right.
Because it is changing fast, and I just recommend you do a scrub on how you're going to stay ahead of it, because we've got to get American information into these countries. It is a great help. It helped in under the Soviet Union and denied countries. We've got to do that. My time has expired. Thank you very much for your answers.
Thank the gentleman from Arizona, Mr. Stanton.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Ms. Lake, your actions as senior advisor are eroding American soft power around the globe.